Going on to the culture part of the podcast, you have Elon Musk preventing Ukraine from escalating the war with Russia, possibly avoiding World War III. Now, this is due to his involvement with another company, because talk about entrepreneurial spirit. How many companies does this guy own by now? This is because of his involvement with a startup called Starlink, in which it is a fascinating satellite-based telecom company, or particularly internet delivery company. So it's an internet company, and a lot of people in the United States already know it because you got the cool dishes on your RVs, or you're using it in remote technology if you're on a farm. It has a lot of benefits because, of course, satellites are so much more easier to transmit data than cell towers. Cell towers, they tend to, with the exception of perhaps a tornado coming through town, cell towers stay very rigid and they stay in place for most of the, I was about to say career, it's just a tower. Not really a career, but most of their duration. So satellites can move a lot more quicker and they cover a lot more distance, of course, which why you get that flexibility. Now, when the conflict broke with Russia and Ukraine, Elon Musk actually decided to give away the technology for free, to the Ukraine, which is ridiculous. He did not have to do it. He was, in terms of business decisions, that was certainly not a prudent business decision. He should have just went to the United States Department of Defense. Again, the United States has given over $100 billion to the Ukraine in cash, as well as physical tangible goods, including military gear, humanitarian gear, which who knows where it's going, because not really a lot of accountability or oversight. But another topic for another time. Elon, he should have just went to the Department of Defense. He's printing money and said, hey, I got this awesome technology that would actually be revolutionary for this conflict, and it would help him out ridiculously. Why don't you actually compensate me? But no, for a couple of years now, he's at a loss. So a couple $100 million in hardware, he actually they sent out the actual dishes, as well as actual payment of the maintenance. So this actually came out a couple days ago, and there's a little bit of misinformation about there's people thinking that Elon actually shut down Starlink in a particular region around Russia to prevent Ukraine from being more offensive. Now, the clarification from Elon himself via the Twitter sphere, or now X, this is a quote, well, I was going to say it's a tweet, or now a post. It just feels cooler to say tweet. Let me know in the comments, do you call it a post, or do you still call it a tweet? Nevertheless, Elon's statement on the platform is, quote, there was an emergency request from government authorities to activate Starlink all the way to Sevastopol. The obvious intent was being to sink most of the Russian fleet at anchor. If I had agreed to their request, then SpaceX would have explicitly complicit, or would be explicitly complicit in a major act of war and conflict escalation. So it looks like it is a venture, or perhaps SpaceX is helping out with satellites. Starlink is a technology that actually does anything. Now, interestingly enough, his response got 5.7 million views in 2 days and 39.9 likes. That's a lot. That's quite a lot of likes, although not the best ratio. That's 0.7%. Now, interestingly enough, top responses seem to agree with Elon's sentiment. Somebody named of Graph actually said, quote, Musk did the right thing. There's no obligation for a private entity to start World War III. Nothing is worth a nuclear war, unquote. That individual got 51.4 thousand views and 1,214 likes, giving a ratio of 2.36%. Not too shabby. Now, you also have somebody named of Daniel saying, quote, destroying the military assets of a nation that is invading you is fair game and not escalation. Now, that counterpoint actually got 559,000 views and 9,332 likes, though that is just a ratio of 1.67%, so not the highest. So a couple conflicting tweets throughout the conversation in terms of opinions. You have a couple more. You have Mario Nawfal, who I don't know how much credibility he has left. He is one of those deplorable, morally vacuous people who actually bought bots for Twitter to boost his stats. I was going to say, I might not have many followers on the Twitter, but all 230 something of them appear to be real people. Now, Mario said it's more nuanced, to Daniel's response talking about the destroying military assets. Mario said it's more nuanced than that. Unfortunately, wars are never that simple. You got 2,112 likes out of 289.4 thousand views. So it looks like a couple, I'd say probably about 50-50 split in terms of the opinions. And rudimentarily speaking, it sounded like in terms of the technology, Elon didn't want to activate it on an area that's part of Russia, because if he did, then Ukraine forces would have internet access there, and their drones would be able to communicate with them, and they would be able to operate them in Russian territory. And granted, all along, I was told we were just supporting Ukraine to defend themselves inside Ukraine. Funny how things have changed so quickly, and now they're on the offensive. Though a football coach or a sports balls coach would probably say the best defense is a good offense, or something cliche like that. Though that certainly wasn't the message that the politicians told the United States citizens. Granted, how often are they actually accurate? Less times than you win the lottery. Less times than you win the lottery. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in today. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to click that subscribe button. I know it's ambitious, but trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of September, I think we could do it together. Don't forget to take the time to comment and like the video. I really appreciate the feedback, whether it's making my speech or trying to make my speech slow down a little bit, try to be a little bit more articulate in the videos. Thanks to you, I was able to bring that more to my attention, put it on my list of things that I'm trying to improve on, or whether it's giving me feedback, whether it comes to the UAW issue, or maybe it's political stats, or maybe just your experience in certain business segments. More data, the better. I'd love to hear your experiences, and I could bring them up next time we talk about them on the show. So don't forget to leave the comments. I greatly appreciate it. Also, don't forget to take the time to tell your friends, tell your families, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.